Hi, everyone. I'm so glad that you guys are here. I want to thank Westmont for holding this forum. Um, so important. I want to tell you about my son Louis a little bit. He was such a wonderful little boy and, typical little boy, and grew up in a very loving Italian family, like Angelica said. And I was a very involved mom. I was on the PTO board. I was a soccer coach, a football manager. I did everything to ensure that my kids had every advantage to have a successful life. And I thought I did that, as best as I could. And they grew up and they went to a private school in Addison, and things were going well, and they started drinking on the weekends with their football friends. And I thought, they're all doing it, and they all seem like they're all good kids. So, I kind of turned my back a little bit to it. Didn't like it, but turned my back to it a little bit. And wish I didn't. And anyways, so then Louis graduated from high school. Like Angelica said, he was very popular, and he loved football, and he loved girls. And went to college, and that's when he was introduced to heroin. I guess he was taking pills for a while, abusing them, and someone told him to snort this, just like that, snort this. Didn't ask what it was. He was tired, he was working at school, this will make you feel better, just snort it. He did. He snorted it. He didn't know what he was snorting. Not that, I did have the conversation and say, it was your job to say, what am I snorting? But it's just that quickly. And he said he fell in love with it. He fell in love with heroin the first time he snorted it. And changed my beautiful, sweet boy into someone I didn't know. It robbed his soul. I feel like the devil designs heroin to take people's soul down. It just changes everything. He stole from me. My son would never do that. He lied to me. He was, disrespectful to me when I called him out. And he was embarrassed and ashamed that this happened to him. He couldn't believe that this happened to him. He told me, Mom, I can't believe that this has happened in my life over just some bad choices. So I'm looking at your beautiful high school kids, and I would do anything if my son Louis was sitting where you're sitting and listening to this information that you're getting tonight. Maybe it would have changed his life. But we didn't know. We just didn't know. It wasn't on our radar. The drugs were drugs, and marijuana and beer, were on our radar, but not heroin. We didn't have the benefit of education of it. So if it crosses your path, run like hell away from it. It will destroy you. And again, something like Angelica said, you guys have friend loyalty, and you don't want to tell or bust to any of your friends, but maybe if one of Louis' friends would have told me that he was experimenting with OxyContin, and my son Vinny, if they were experimenting with it, maybe before it became into a full throttle addiction, it could have been stopped. So don't feel like you have any friend loyalty. You could be saving their life. And you could be saving a parent from feeling the way I do. So I just urge you, if you see someone in trouble, talk about it, find an adult. Someone will be out there to help. You could call LTM. We'll be glad to help too. The police will be able to help without busting them. So again, no friend loyalty. I look back, I know I was a good mother, but I look back in it, if I could change some things, I would. And they're not easy to talk about, but, I think, again, if I would have had the benefit of listening to someone like me, then maybe my story would have been different. Um, I, um, I talked the talk, but I didn't walk the walk. I had a lot of parties at my house, and my kids saw me inebriated. And, it's something I'm not proud of, and I would change that, given the chance to, save my son's life. It's just typical cocktail parties with my friends, but what message was I sending to my kids? And I would change that. And sometimes I would argue with my husband, and we're Italian, so I got a little verbal. And, I would probably keep that, between a husband and a wife, and try to, fight or work out a problem differently instead of fighting in front of them. I'm sure that made them feel insecure. They told me that. I would have spoiled my kids so much. They had everything, and never really had to work for it. I just loved spoiling them, and and I don't think that served them well. And I didn't really teach them to be spiritual. To fill that void in life of being human, and everyone gets anxious and depressed. And I didn't teach them to go to, there's to God. With what's going on in their life, because everyone's going to have bad moments, and I wish I could have taught them more spirituality and some more better coping mechanisms, and praying would have been one of them. And I wish I would have been more vigilant after their high school years. I kind of knew I did a good job. They were working, they were getting good grades, so I kind of lost track of them. They had cars and they had cell phones, and I thought they were fully functioning. I kind of stopped checking where they were, and I think after high school or late high school years and late teen years, you need to be more vigilant, parents. You can check. Most of you are still paying for their cell phones and their car insurance at that age. You can check those things, and you can have control. And there's nothing wrong with, having a curfew at 18 or 19. I'm sorry, kids, but there's nothing wrong with that. I wish that I would have done that. And I do think, this time in life is like a perfect storm for addicts. With the pain pill industry going on, and the marketing of cheap heroin, and the void in people's life, and the need for instant gratification. It's a perfect storm to breed an addict. So we do need to be vigilant. It can't be just a parent. It can't be just a school. It can't just be just a police problem. It does take a village, and I just wish that when you leave here, you guys will talk to 5 people. That's what I'm going to ask you. 5 people. Tell them what you learned today. The more we talk about it, the more we're going to help. It's not anything to be ashamed of. And if we keep it in a closet, and it's just going to breed and grow. I am not ashamed of my kids. I'm so proud of them. He just made a bad choice. They're not a bad kid. So, again, I want to thank you for listening. And, kids, just don't do this. Please, I beg you. And so your parents could see you graduate and get married and have babies, and have the privilege of watching you turn into the people that God intended you to be. And so that's all I have to say. Thank you. Oh, I do want to read one quick poem. It's called "Hello, My Name is Heroin." Hello, my name is Heroin. I destroy homes, tear families apart, take your children, and that's just the start. I'm more costly than diamonds, more costly than gold. The sorrow I bring is a sight to behold. And if you need me, remember I'm easily found. I live all around you in schools and in town. I live with the rich, I live with the poor, I live down the street and maybe next door. My power is awesome. Try me, you'll see. But if you do, you may never break free. Just try me once and I'll own your soul. When I possess you, you'll steal and you lie. You'll do what you have just to get pie. The crimes you commit for my narcotic charms will be the pleasure you feel in your arms. You lie to your mother, you'll steal from your dad. When you see their tears, you should feel sad, but you'll forget your morals and how you were raised. I'll be your conscience. I'll teach you my ways. I take kids from parents and parents from kids. I turn people from God and separate friends. I take everything from you, your looks and your pride. I'll be with you always, right by your side. You give up everything, your family, your home, your friends, your money, then you'll be alone. I'll take and I'll take till there's no more to give. When I'm finished with you, you'll be lucky to live. If you try me, be warned, this is no game. If given a chance, I'll drive you insane. I'll ravish your body, I'll control your mind. I'll own you completely, your soul will be mine. The nightmares I give you while laying in bed, the voices you hear from inside your head, the sweats, the shakes, the visions you see. I want you to know these are all gifts from me. But then it's too late, and you know in your heart that you are mine and we shall not part. You'll regret that you tried me, they always do, but you came to me, not I to you. You knew this would happen, many times you were told, but you challenged my power and choose to be bold. You could have said no and just walked away. If you could live that day over, now what would you say? I will be your master, you will be my slave. I will even go with you when you go to my grave. Now that you have met me, what will you do? Will you try me or not? It's all up to you. I can bring you more misery than words can tell. Come take my hand. Let me lead you to hell.